pleasant day to all my subscribers, my viewers, the obedient family, active citizens, and Nigerians. Thank you for joining me once again. Now, I made a video recently where I talked about the meeting that was going to hold today. That is the Northern Consultative Group, Political Consultative Group. That's the forum. They are having a meeting in Abuja, and I can tell you Peter Obi and Atiku are present there. Peter Obi came in with his team, Atiku with his team, and I'm telling you that the talks are really ongoing. It's now I actually believe that there are talks that are really ongoing, and they are trying to see how they can come up with the best option for the coalition in 2027. But trust me, Peter Obi had an opportunity to speak, and he's always very, very, assertive. I'm always straightforward, straight to the point about his own belief and what he actually feels Nigeria should be like. And trust me, to their faces, he's actually telling them we have powerful leaders there that are actually, all joining, in making sure that yes, this government is actually pulled out. But at the end of the day, if Peter Obi no be the person where they put for front, forget him, no go work, because the obedience are not just only saying, look, it are not just only saying yes, the best option is a coalition, but they are saying that listen, if it's not Peter Obi at the topmost position of this coalition or the flag bearer of the coalition, you guys should just forget about it because we don't have the strength. Now, the strategies that are actually it is just everywhere. A lot of groups are coming up, setting up, committees, setting up forums and all that, looking for how to actually speak about to the issues at hand, looking for how to remove the person that is there because they have seen that it is a colossal failure. And trust me, that guy is not even there to do anything better. It's not going to change anytime soon, and that is why they are actually looking for a way to actually pull him out. The funny thing is that it's northerners that are actually championing this, and a lot of people have their own reservations about what is happening. They will tell you that, oh, if it's the northern president and they will not come out, they will not do anything. Now they are actually, because the southern person that is sitting down there, they are actually making noise. We would have supported Tinubu hook, line and sinker if he had followed the right medium to get into that seat. You cannot pass through the window and come and clean the room, and I can tell you that what Peter Obi said there is actually true, because it's actually happening. There is no cleaning of the room. It has been one error to another, one mess up to another, and the northerners are talking. My question is always, what stopped the southerners from talking when the northerner was there? So you can actually blame them. Let me show you the entrance of Peter Obi and Atiku, and when I come back we'll continue, and I will show you what Peter Obi later, the opportunity Peter Obi had to speak to them and what he said, and when we wrap it up, please watch. Now you've seen it, right? Yes, Peter Obi and Atiku in a function. And I'm telling you that Peter Obi had an opportunity to speak to them, and then he said what he said as usual. He actually, did the needful by actually telling them the opportunities they stand to get or they stand to gain if the right person is actually seated in that position, which I'm going to be showing you. But I don't want to believe this narrative of, anytime a southern president is there, we'll have the north actually fighting him, looking for how to remove him. When Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was there, some of the major people that fought against him were even the southerners. We saw Tinubu. We saw the protests that went on in Lagos. We saw Pastor Adeboye them. We saw all of them protesting against him. We saw a lot of events that played out that time from southerners. So don't come with that narrative of anytime the south is the president, the northerners will always come to fight him. There is nobody fighting nobody. Tinubu have failed. Tinubu have failed. There's no telling about it. It's as clear as daylight. He has failed, and clearly he has no plan. So if we are even saying, okay, give him more time, give him more time. If you're giving somebody more time, you are giving somebody that actually has, a plan for the future. Clearly there is no plan. There is no blueprint. There's no pattern they are following. It's from one error to another. So what is happening is just, okay, look, if you are giving him more time, you are throwing the people into more suffering. Because one of the medium of actually changing things is to accept that things are actually bad. You are doing badly. Then you now start working towards changing it. But they are living in the illusion that they are doing perfectly well. They are actually changing things. Things are becoming better. So how do you now convince this kind of person that, okay, you need to backtrack, look at what you are doing, your reforms and everything, look at the loopholes in them, and find a way to actually deal with those loopholes before you move forward. There is no way you can actually convince that kind of person that you should do that. So clearly, the best thing to do is to allow them to get out of that position. Now, the only thing we are asking as obedience is that we have a candidate that has integrity, competence, compassion, character, and is about the people. Give him the opportunity. Since they are insisting that the southerner must stay for 8 years, then give Peter Obi. Because clearly, if it's the time for the south, the person that is there is failing. The next person that will have to be there, if they are insisting is a southerner, then Peter Obi is a southerner. Give it to him. Because he's the one that can actually deal with the issues. Let me quickly show you what he said, and when I come back, we'll wrap this up.
There's no industry. There's no industry again in Kaduna. We used to put Kaduna Trade Fair 2 years for you to get a space. Today nobody goes there. We used to go to Meduguri for cash. Today nobody goes there. That is the poverty. And when you have poverty, you have criminality that you cannot control. Because when people don't know where the necessary will come from, you can never control their action. And they easily recruit. But in all these, it all rests squarely on government to solve. And I've always said the North can change Nigeria. The greatest aspect of this country is in the North. We can make more money, I say it every day, we can make more money from farm, agriculture, than we make from oil. And I'm starting to prove in everything. This entire country produces less than 6 million tons of rice. That is less than 10% of what Bangladesh produces. Bangladesh is a country that lives on 148,600 square kilometers of land. That is the size of 2 northern states. Niger at 76.3 and Borno at 70.8. Equal to Bangladesh. And Bangladesh has a population of 170 million. So if you divide their 146 by this, it's less than about 800 square meters when these two states have over 13,000 square meters. It's a huge land. Niger State has most arable land in this country, cannot feed itself. It's 76.3 thousand square kilometers. They are not exporting anything. Netherlands with 33,000 square kilometers. So Niger State is 2.5 times size of Netherlands. billion euros, about over $130 billion of agricultural export. That is exactly 2.5 times what we get from oil. One state. The story is the same everywhere. So the solution is in the north. Look at a state like Taraba. Taraba can produce all the tea and coffee we need at the parks of Mambila. Taraba is 54.4 thousand square kilometers. Seneca, that is making all their money from tea today, is 65,000 square kilometers. If you divide it by the population, Taraba is 3 times, if not more than that. And all these states are driving around the north and are still paying. This year, into Kafancha, to Kaduna, to Katsina, to Jigawa, all these are not by road. And you see loads of uncultivated land. Go to Morocco and travel from Casablanca to Port of Nigeria on both sides. And you see the difference. We can change the north. Agricultural land that is in the north is dead. Why do we have to do huge budgets where there will be a road for 15 trillion? Why don't we use 1.2? If you put 1.5 trillion was insecurity in the north today, we start dealing with it. We can capitalize that part with 1 trillion. And if you put another 1.2 trillion in poverty alleviation, one of the governors of the north told me he wanted to do small poverty alleviation, and he went to Bank of the North, Bank of Industry, and gave them 2 billion. And over 2 years, they cannot even put their own capital funding. We can solve it. The more you put people out of poverty, the more you solve insecurity. I've been to prisons, I've been to places to see what is happening. We need to change it. It is very easy. We need to invest in education. We can't talk about free universal education when people are not going to school and children are not in school. I have taken time to go to the north, serve them with their imaginary children. They are the most brilliant people God created. Because I can see children in 9 years and 10 years memorizing Quran. If they can't go to school, we'll just speak to them. Where they are learning Quran, they can learn English, they can learn mathematics, they can learn it. It's very easy. And we are doing it in Kaduna and it's working. I went to one in Kaduna, I even visited there with them. My brother that went there, provided them, and paying their teachers now, provided them toilets, provided them everything. If you see the kids, they are changing. Let's invest in them. That's our assets. That's the assets we need. That's the doctors we need. We have a great country that can be changed if our leaders can change the human being.
Now you've seen it right. The basic truth, anytime he comes to speak to them, he tells them the opportunity there is that have been wasted, that have not been utilized. Now I can tell you that when it comes to the issue of agriculture and all that, I don't only blame Tinubu, I blame the governors in the north. The northern governors are very, very lazy. They are redundant. There is no innovation. There is no IQ. They are just there to collect allocation and share. And in fact, am I talking about the northern governors? It's spread across board, because most of these governors are not innovative enough to generate good revenues from their state. All they believe in is anything that happens, let us get our allocation from the government and share it. And that is why you see them jumping from one party to another, because Tinubu have started giving them fat allocations. So at the end of the day, say, let us just be with him, since he's actually treating the governors right. We are getting more money. We are actually getting more money to stock in our pockets. There is no creativity whatsoever. There is okay, what does God has blessed all the states with mineral resources? God has blessed all the states with some of the states with natural resources, some of the states with mineral resources. The basic thing they are supposed to do is just go and harness it and say, okay, what are those things we can actually get from this thing? Let us start looking for how to get them. You understand? And put them out there. But no, they will sit down redundant, leave the states like that. You go to states like Plateau State, where tourism is supposed to be at the highest level. You see that they are not doing anything about it. You go to states where there are mineral resources, resources, you see that they are not doing anything about it. They are just even allowing foreigners to come and tap it from them and run away with it. And at the end of the day, you find out that there are so many untapped resources that would have bettered the states and the country, that because of the fact that we have redundant leaders, we have rulers, we have people that have failed the people, that are always deceiving the people, transactional politicians that have no IQ whatsoever, you find out that nothing is changing. Because at the end of the day, they are not there to fix things. And that is why Peter Obi keeps saying, by the time you have a leader that have a goal, that have a blueprint, that have, innovation, that have creativity, you find out that he will start utilizing those things. Oil every day. If oil here, oil there. If we have another thing that we can actually sell out there, why are we not selling it? Agriculture would have given more money than oil. You can hear Peter Obi always talking about it. And that is the truth. Eventually, no matter how they run around, they will still come to own up to that truth. We've seen him say things before and they insulted him, but later on, their government is using the pattern. The first one was when he talked about power, and they were saying, why did he go to Egypt? The government now came out, Minister of Power, and said, we have to go to Egypt to go and learn. The second one is when he talked about, okay, you cannot keep building new schools, building new structures when the old ones are spoiled and just need renovation and fixing, and then it will be good for the people to use. Now the Minister of Education have come out and say, stop building structures, stop building new structures, fix the old ones. That is what he's saying right now. And you can actually see that very clearly. So Peter Obi is one person that stands out, that understands the problem, that knows the solution to the problem. So no matter how we try to run around it, he is the only one that can actually deal with this situation. And that is why you see the obedience insisting that he has to be in the forefront of any coalition. Because clearly they know that this man has the technical know-how to deal with the problem. From all his moves, from all what he has said, from all what he has done, it is clear that every time he speaks about it, and eventually they go back through the back and they have to fall back at the same thing again. And look at him telling them, admonishing the North, that there is so much potential that is here that we can actually still tap into. We can even let oil sleep for a while. While we do oil, we can do this one. And that is more revenue for us. And that is just the whole truth. It's just that you have criminals littered all over the government that are not willing to actually work. They are just there for their selfish ambition, their selfish intention, their purposes to actually loot, steal, and, finish taxpayers' money, borrow and spend lavishly, and that is all. Apart from that, they don't have anything to contribute. That is why you see the country in this state. And it's time to actually let them go. Let me drop this here, guys. Please drop your comments in the comment section. I really love to hear from you. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Turn on the notification bell so that whenever I drop a video, you'll be the first to be notified. Thank you for watching this video. Have a blessed remaining part of your day. I'll see you next time.